You're listening to the CIP podcast, the Study Broadcast, episode 5. I'm your host, Mike Lafleur, an Education Abroad Advisor with the University of Guelph. In this show, we explore the world of study abroad, offering advice, insights, and travel stories, bridging perspectives and cultures along the way. In this episode, we'll hear from a past exchange student who made her way from Europe to come study at the University of Guelph. So let's get right into it. Today on the show, we are pleased to welcome Munira, a graduate student from the University of Copenhagen in Denmark. To get things started, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your exchange experience at the University of Guelph?
Hi, my name is Munira. I am from Copenhagen, as Mike said. I did my master courses at the University of Guelph, and I'm doing my master thesis right now in Copenhagen. I did my exchange in last year at this time. So,
do you have a favorite memory that comes to mind when you think back on your University of Guelph exchange?
I remember that I went to one of the football games. American football. I don't know if you guys call it that. And I liked how people were so hyped and excited about the game. I don't really follow American football, but that was so much fun to sit there and be a part of that because you get a whole new experience and people are so excited. So it was nice. And they won, of course. So
yeah, I think that student experience is all part of the journey and finding ways to connect with the Canadian culture while you're here.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're well-traveled and have spent time in New York and Ethiopia and Europe.
Yeah.
Do you have another Canadian travel story that you could share with us?
Yes, I actually wanted to go to Niagara Falls once when I was there. It was the same trip as when I did the exchange. We bought the tickets online via my computer, and then we were like, okay, this is going to happen, and we're going to go there tomorrow, and so on. And the next day occurred, and we went down to the bus, and we wanted to take the mega buses. We came there, we stood in line, and then the bus driver was like, this is not for today, guys. We're like, what? He was like, yeah, you guys bought for tomorrow. And the reason why we had bought for the next day is because my computer is on a different time. So it had taken one additional day than what we actually had, what we had expected. So we was like panicking and we're like, oh no, we have to do this today, otherwise we won't make it. So we bought one more ticket. We changed the ticket, accidentally bought to the 11 p.m. instead of 11 a.m. So at the same time, we had to change the ticket once more. So it was it was a waste of money, but it was very fun to actually get the chance to see it.
And you finally made it to...
We finally made it to Niagara Falls, yeah.
I know for a lot of students, they actually like going during the winter months as well. And the falls are actually a bit frozen. So it kind of gives another perspective.
Yeah, I wanted to go there once more, but time flew, so...
Sounds good. Now, I know you have some family ties, and if I remember correctly, your brother was also an exchange student at the University of Guelph. Is that part of the reason why you wanted to choose Guelph and have your own experience in Canada?
Exactly. That's actually why I chose University of Guelph, because he had been there many years ago, and he was... He talked about it and he said it was so much fun, and I was like, okay, maybe I should do the same. Nice. But he was the reason why I chose University of Guelph.
Sometimes it's good to follow in your brother's footsteps.
Yeah. And all my sisters had also tried exchange in different countries, so I think I had to have the experience with me.
Nice. I think for a lot of students, having that family support is a big factor, whether it's siblings or your parents or having friends or people you're close to who have been on exchange, because they help
motivate one,
make that dream a little more realistic. For sure.
I'm happy that I did it.
So on an academic note, how was it for you adjusting to the Canadian system and the learning style at the University of Guelph? I know it can be a little bit different. What was it like for you?
When I finally got my classes, it was actually really good. I loved the way the teaching was at the University of Guelph, because there was a lot of interactions between the professors and the students, a lot of good conversations. So I think I have missed that here, but I loved that it was so different there, and you had to actually be active in every single class you took. So that was a very positive thing. And it was also something new that you got graded for everything you did. So I didn't. That's not something we do here, but it's nice. It's nice to know that you have to be on your A game every single time.
Is there a specific course that stands out for you?
Yes, I actually loved BioM 400. It was the one where you had to like critical thinking in medicinal chemistry or medicinal research. I love that one.
So I know that study abroad can be a big decision for a lot of students. Can you describe any concerns or apprehensions that you had when it came to studying abroad?
For me, I think it was a lot about just go do it and try to experience something new, because there's so much to see in this world, and to experience a study abroad is really something else. And it doesn't matter where you live in the world, you have to. I think it's a thing you have to try. For me, I was maybe a little bit nervous about if I was able to take the courses that was available there, and if they actually fit in to what I was doing here, because I'm a medicinal chemist. So it's like I have two different areas that I try to study in. And they didn't have that specifically at the University of Guelph. That was I was kind of nervous about that, but I mean, everything went fine in the end, as you might remember.
I think for a lot of graduate students in particular, they have such a focused aspect of their learning. You know, the graduate level is a little more focused, so it's interesting to see that you were still able to go on exchange as a graduate student.
But I must say, it was kind of, as you remember, it was difficult to find classes that was in my area.
I'm glad I could see that it worked out in the end.
Yeah.
I know for students as well, one of the other barriers revolves around funding and financing. How were you able to manage to budget and save up for this experience? Are there any tips or advice that you could offer prospective exchange students from a financial aspect?
Yes, I mean, what I did was I worked, I had a job next to my study. So I worked for a medicinal company here in Denmark, part-time, and then I studied meanwhile also. And then I started searching funding. A little bit too late though. So there was actually a lot of deadlines for funding that I missed. So you have to start really early when it comes to if you want to apply for different fundings, because there's deadlines that you're not always are able to catch. So I think that was maybe my biggest problem, that I didn't do anything I didn't do it in advanced.
How would you compare the cost of living between Denmark and Canada? Was it fairly similar, or were there some aspects that were less expensive, or some aspects that were, surprisingly more expensive?
It's almost the same, I would say, actually. It's also, especially if you live in Copenhagen, inner city Copenhagen, if you take this university, it's kind of the same budget you have to lie out as when you live in where I lived. I guess it's around the same. I don't think there's a big difference between those two. That was kind of really, I had a realistic budget that I made, which I also can recommend that people do if they want to go on exchange. I think it's if you have that, I think it was really realistic between Denmark and Guelph.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
How about in terms of cultural differences between Canada and Denmark? Were there any cultural differences that stood out for you?
What surprised me was that there wasn't that many differences as I expected. So I think I had another expectation than what I actually saw. I love the fact that people, like just the but people who took the bus, students who took the bus, always said hello to the bus driver and said bye or thank you to the bus driver. I love that. We don't do that here in Denmark, but that was so nice to hear that, and people were actually very friendly, and I had expected that, of course. That's like the one thing people say about Canadian is like they're so friendly. But I think I was very surprised that it reminded me so much of Europe compared to what I hadn't expected. Yeah.
I know for a lot of students, there is that strange bus culture where everyone is thanking the bus driver when you get off the bus.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is really good. So I actually started to do that when I came here in the beginning. I was always thank you to the bus driver, and they were like, okay, you're welcome. And they're not used to that.
What I found interesting too is just how many people hold the door open for you at the University of Guelph. I don't know if that was your experience, but when
That's true.
Was there, everyone was holding the door, and it almost became like something I had to give back in return.
Yeah, but it's very nice. I mean,
so regarding your own identity, how do you think your identity evolved during your exchange? What did you learn about yourself throughout the journey, and how are you perceived as an exchange student at Guelph?
That I'm normally a very active and very busy person who do so many things at once. And when I got to the university, I actually didn't have anything else to focus on except for me and the study and my classes. So it was kind of nice for once to be able to relax a little bit and be a little bit more just focus on what I wanted to do and experience what I wanted to experience, and didn't have to think about the surroundings all the time, because I normally always then I have to do gym or basketball, and then I have to work a couple of times a week, and then I have to do studies and so on. But this time I only had my studies and myself, and it was kind of nice. So I think I found out that I could relax in myself and be I didn't have to have everything socially around me all the time to be relaxed and be in a good place. For the classes, for the University of where the classes that I took, that I actually could speak more up about about my opinions than I did here in Copenhagen. So I learned a lot about me, saying what I meant and what I actually thought was the correct answer, and so on. So that was also nice.
That's great to hear. I know that student wellness and that work-life balance is a big part of the University of Guelph culture. So I'm glad to see that you're able to experience a bit of that yourself. In terms of some of the supports that were offered by the Center for International Programs, can you speak to some of the supports that were available to you as an exchange student?
I have some good conversations with you, Mike, because we had trouble in the beginning with finding me the classes, as I mentioned earlier. So it helped a lot that I actually had the chance to come to you and get some advice on what to do and you actually think that you at one point called my university here in Copenhagen to get them to hurry up a pre-approval and so on. So you guys helped a lot about in this scenario that I was in, the problems that I had. So you guys were really good at trying to solve the problems fast as possible. So it was really nice. It was really good.
Now, I appreciate that. I think for myself, I know that I want the students who come to Guelph to feel welcomed and to know that you can always reach out for help. I don't want students to think of themselves as a number, but I want to know who they are, their names, where they're from, even before they arrive, and help them sort of navigate, especially in the beginning when things are very new. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys did a good job, I must say. So. That's good.
What I find interesting too is how quickly some exchange students connect early on during orientation, at the start of the school year, finding other graduate students to connect with as well.
I think it was really easy to connect with the other students fast because we were in it together. we had the same, I don't know, problems or the same questions in overall. We connected like that really quickly. Introduction weeks that we had in the beginning really helped that because we were in the same. Everybody was new, so everybody had to kind of find out what to do next. So we helped each other a lot. So that was really nice. Yeah.
Definitely. I think one thing we try to do is connect students through social media and Facebook and WhatsApp to build these informal communities where students can rely on each other for supports. So I know we're wrapping up here. I just have 2 more questions for you. Are there any other favorite memories? I know you mentioned the football game at the start of the school year. Do you have other fond memories that you think back to when you think about your time in Canada and at the University of Guelph?
Like one thing that I really remember was I spent a lot of time in the gym. I spent a lot of time there because because you guys had such good facilities there. So, as I mentioned earlier, also that I like to play some basketball once in a while. So I went down there a couple of times, and sometimes people were like, "Hey, you want to play 2 against 2?" And then we just, with people I didn't even know, then we just played 2 against 2, and it was just fun to see such a relaxed environment and be able to do something like that. And I really enjoyed being like in that area when I was there like 3 or 4 times a week. So it was really nice. Yeah, I think that's one of the places I remember the best is the gym.
For sure. I think the athletic center is a great place where students are able to connect.
Yeah.
They have the ice rink, they have the rock climbing wall, they have the arboretum in the back where students are out biking and jogging.
Yeah,
swimming. Or enjoying the winter, the swimming as well.
Yeah, it was good.
So just to wrap up here, are there any other tips or advice that you would give to those students who are thinking about study abroad?
Definitely, if you want to go, it doesn't matter if you're just considering it a little bit, you have to do it no matter what. You will not lose anything on it. You will only gain a lot of knowledge. And if you figure out you go and you figure out that was nothing for you, you know it for another time, but it's just an experience you have to take with you. Yeah, because there's so much to see in this world. So this is just a great opportunity to go somewhere else and learn something at the same time. So I guess I would say that people have to try it if they have the opportunity to try it. And they don't have to be afraid of anything because there's good counselors at the universities you arrive at, and the university you come from is also someone who has good counselors that will help you all the way. So that was what I experienced at least. So I guess it's a must try, I guess. You can say that.
That's some great advice. I think for me, I have always seen travel as a great way to learn about the world, to learn about yourself. So that's it for today's episode of the Study Abroad Cast. Don't forget to explore your own study abroad opportunities at the CIP website at uoguelph.ca/CIP, or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Our Instagram handle is CIP_Guelph. Thanks for listening, and thanks to Manira for sharing your advice, insights, and travel stories. I'm glad to see that you had such a great experience at Guelph. So stay tuned to our next episode, where we look forward to unpacking the study abroad experience even further. Thank you.